Touma and his allies stood against the possessed Index, who hovered above them in the night sky. Even without a moon, her very light that radiated from her robes gave a presence. She looked like something from heaven itself, ethereal in nature, and yet her expression far from warm and inviting. A cold emptiness behind the glare of her eyes, as if someone else had taken over her entirely. It was the effect of the mode that she had entered into, John's pen mode, a form of self-preservation in the event that her mind were to ever be compromised, if the ruined curse were to ever be removed. This was a form of defense, and now Touma was caught in the sights of Index's fury. Multiple lasers began to shoot from her eyes, multiple spell circles forming around her, a protection of the 300,000 grimoires, a form of destruction to any who tried to interfere. Touma would try to take cover, his right hand now being used to the max as he used it to shield himself from the oncoming attacks. Kari and Magnus would do what they could, along with Mikoto as well as Stripe, everyone attempting to fend off against Index, forcing her to fight from multiple vantage points, multiple spell circles circling in upon her enemies. "Damn, I had no idea she'd be this dangerous," Touma said. "What else were you expecting? The church has to keep the grimoire safe by any means necessary. You really think they wouldn't go this far just to kill you? Though I have to say, you're probably too stubborn to die. That pesky-ass right arm of yours. I get it, but from this point, I can't get close enough to her. Your T-spheres," Kari would say. "They allow you to have form over gravity. You should be able to fly." "Yeah, but I'm not very good at it. You said so yourself. I'm terrible at using these things." "Yeah, well, you don't have time to practice," Magnus said as he continued using his flames on the defensive. "You said you were going to save Index, or were you all talk?" "I'm not. I'm going to save her." "Then stop making excuses. You don't know how to fly? Well, you better learn. And you better learn quick. We'll buy you time. You get to her, use that bastardized right arm of yours, and you put an end to all of this." "I got it." Mikoto, meanwhile, was flying along just fine, thanks to her cosmic railgun staff. Using it, she was able to fight from a distance, though blocking and guarding wasn't necessarily her forte. She was more of an offensive type of person. "Stupid Touma, stupid Index, stupid wizards, sorcerers, all of this madness! Yeah! Quick, Stripe, I need you to engage the defensive barriers of the lab. We can use what's inside to fight against her." Understood. Engaging in defensive mode for the laboratory, countermeasures against the sorcerers now engaged, Misaka says while engaging in this battle strategy. Stripe, meanwhile, would use its massive hulking body to tank many of the attacks. For a robot, it was pretty durable, even against the might of magic, but it wasn't going to last for too long. For Touma, he summoned forth his T-spheres. Using them in his way of flying, he would use some for defense. All he had to do was get in close enough. As everyone struggled against the possessed Index, from upon another building watching was a being clad in red and black, with a golden mask on his face. "The hour has finally come. Now in her weakened state, I can be able to take possession of her body. I must thank the boy. He has made this far too easy for me." The masked man would remove his covering, the mask descending from the sky above. With that, his body would fall to the ground, Magnus seeing it from a distance. his eyes growing in horror as he saw it descending upon them. No, not now! What? What's going on? It's Psycho! He's here! Not him. Don't worry. I won't let him get away. Incantus! Burn and incinerate! The falling body would be swallowed by the flames, without any sort of resistance, not even so much as a scream. But Magnus wasn't done. He poured all of his firepower into that attack. He did everything to make sure that there was no chance of the psycho pirate coming back. One of the underlings for Maxwell Lord, one whom they had encountered throughout the years, time and time again. He always had a pesky way of reviving himself, but this time Magnus was going to make sure he didn't come back. Meanwhile, Touma would go racing towards Index, avoiding every laser fire, every strike, every source of magic that came his way, blocking and evading to get close enough to her. He just had to touch her face. If he could, then he could finish this once and for all. As he got close to Index, as she looked upon him with no intent other than murder and erasure, suddenly the golden mask would fall onto her face. Suddenly her body would begin to twitch. Touma would take the opportunity to get as close as he could, but then a defensive magical sphere would form around her. He attempted to touch it with his hand, and it dissipated, but then it got stronger. What kind of magic is this? I can't destroy it in one go. What's going... Gah! Touma would be shot back instantly. Psalm verse incantic. Oh no. Index! What the hell's going on now? Her face, Mikasa notices. Damn it! Touma would raise himself back onto his feet as Index would descend from above. This time, the golden mask on her face. Index? Index, what's going on? That's not Index, Magnus said. But how? You destroyed him! It was a fake. It was a trick. He wanted me to go after his body. What? What are you talking? It's Psycho Pirate. He works for Lord Tech. That mask is the mask of Medusa. That's how he uses his power. And it's on her face. Yes! Finally! I see it all. The pathway has become clear. What? Kari raised her sword. Let her go. Give her back! This game of cat and mouse has now come to an end. Her body is now in my possession. The grimoires, the power, I can feel it. So what? That mask, it's its power. Psycho Pirate, Roger Hayden, worked for Lord Tech. He's been our enemy for years now. He has the ability to manipulate the emotions of others, drain them of all emotional energy like a vampire. He can control and manipulate all through the power of that mask. He's put his essence, his spirit into it. He's using the mask to control Index. And now the access to the grimoires are in my possession. So what? You're giving them back to Maxwell? A funny thought, but I have a different one. I have served Maxwell Lord for over 30 years. Unlike many, he sees a brighter future, a different one, where science and magic can truly coexist. However, his vision for the future is misguided. He is not like his father or his grandfather, whom I also had the pleasure of serving. And while I agree with him on many things, there are others that I quite frankly do not. Betrayal. So you're saying you want to betray your best friend after all this? Touma yelled. Best friend? No. I wouldn't describe him as that at all. A bright mind, talented, true, but a friend? No. I believe that he will be the doom of us all. What he plans to do for the world, that is where I disagree with him. But now that I have come this far, I see everything. The particles that move in the air, the gap between magic and science. I see it as she does. You don't understand. None of you do. This world is dying. And it's all your fault. Our fault? I see it. Destruction, cataclysm. You beings, heroes, villains, it makes no difference now. Because I have the power to change it all. I can rewrite reality. I can save them. Oh, great. Nothing worse than a sorcerer with a god complex, Magnus said. You don't plan on saving anyone. Or should I have to remind you why you've been blacklisted from all sorcerer organizations? Blacklisted? Yeah. Mr. Psycho here, he liked to engage in some pretty nasty stuff. The dark arts. There was nothing that was off limits for the likes of him. No one will even touch him, not even with a 100-foot pole. He's a pariah in the Sorcerer Society. And why is that, Magnus? If you wish to air out my dirty laundry, he raised Index's left hand, shooting out a blast of energy, forcing everyone to scatter. Then how about you tell them the truth? The truth about how I was the one doing the dirty work. I did the things that no one else wanted to do, that no one else had the guts to do. I believed that I was serving a purpose. I believed that I served the will of God. But no, instead, I was nothing more but a tool for man, who discarded me, who branded me a heretic, chased me from my home, took everything from me. I had curried no favor with the sorcerers. But yet everything I did was so that they could rest their heads. This power does not corrupt, nor is it evil. That's a lie, Kari said as she used the 7 flashes. It's twisting you. You don't truly believe this. You know how dangerous the grimoires are. No one man could ever possess that kind of power. I am no mere man. None of us are. You cling to the notion of God, but you call yourselves sorcerers. How blasphemous can you be? The very text says and speaks against these things, and yet you exist. Your organization has betrayed you, lied to you, used you, and yet you still stand against me. You are lost causes. All of you are. I will remake this world. Access to Grimoire. The eyes of the mask would begin to glow. Index's body becoming strained as torrents of energy formed all around her. The city's alarms had been activated. What they believed was one of the strongest earthquakes in the world was starting to emanate from their city. This isn't good, Mikasa said. Touma, you hear that? The alarms are going off like crazy. They're thinking this is going to be a Category 5. It's going to be Ground Zero. He's going to level the entire city and then go on a wild-ass rampage. We have to stop him. How exactly do you plan on doing that? Magnus said. He has access to Index's body, the grimoires, everything. Or do you really think that power can't utterly destroy the world? I know it can, but I can end it with this. That dingy right arm of yours can't do anything. Yes, it can. I know it can. The Imagine Breaker. Imagine Breaker? That's what you call it? It has to be. It can break the fabric of reality, everything. I think this power serves a greater purpose. It resets everything. It puts it at a balance. Science, magic. If it goes too far off the rails in either direction, it could be the end of the world. A spell, a nuclear bomb, take your pick. Either side can cause great harm or great joy. But in those cases, there has to be something to balance it. Fair play. Fair play? Now you sound just like him spouting that nonsense. It's not nonsense! Don't you believe that every man should be created equal? That everyone should have the right to happiness? That regardless of what you believe, regardless of where you come from, no one should use their power to abuse others. It doesn't matter if it's the world's greatest science or the world's greatest magic. That's what I believe. And I think that's what this power is meant to be. A power that evens the odds. A power that sets everything back at zero. In the end of the day, we are all man. No matter where you come from or where you go. We bleed the same. We may live differently, but we die the same. That's what we are. Even a power like this can be stopped. I know it can be. And if for no other reason, I won't let that bastard use Index any more than he already has. I'm stopping him here and now, no matter what it takes. The T-spheres would activate the anti-gravity as Touma went flying towards Index. He's reckless, Magnus said. Perhaps, but maybe that's what we need to be right now. He owes me 100 favors after this. Stripe, come on. Mikasa jumped on the robot's back as it went flying. Kaori chasing after them as well. Have they all lost their minds? Why, Michael? Why? We had a good thing going. We could have... Why did you have to choose this kid, Michael? Damn it! All I feel now is anger. Anger and rage. So I've got to take it out on something, don't I? Magnus could feel the flames embedding around him as he went charging as well, soon catching up even to Touma. So, we're finally on the same side, huh? Shut it! I just have a lot of anger issues right now. Psycho! You'll be the first to go, Magnus. Immediately casting a spell for anti-fire magic, Magnus would move out of the way as Kari would use her wire magic, attempting to bind Index's body. I'm going to use the spell for self-restraint and barrier. It won't be able to stop her, but if I keep layering spell after spell after spell, I have to focus on quantity. If I can slow her down, maybe even just a little bit. Good. The school's probably gonna kill me for this. Hey, Mikasa! Yeah, what is it, Touma? I'm going to use the school's satellites. You're going to what? There's no way you can do that. I can. I just have to hack them. They have a way of using lasers, don't they? Yeah, in forms of self-defense. If you use a multitude of those at once, you don't know what you're gonna do to this city. I have to save it somehow, don't I? I'm gonna bring them in as close as possible, and we're gonna fire in on this location. Attack from every side, every direction. It doesn't matter how many spells they have. We're gonna overwhelm him with unbridled force. He might be all powerful, but he can't think that fast. So you just want to overwhelm him, huh? All right then, fine. From outside of the laboratory, the multitude of clothed individual scientists, the ones in hazmat suits and became entirely unrecognizable, were now branding firearms. What the hell? What type of science experiment are you running? Don't mind them. It's something that I create on my downtime. They're laser guns. Laser guns? Well, laser wouldn't be the right way to describe it. Technically, they're guns that mimic my railgun. Not really as strong, but hey, you needed an army, right? Listen, all of you! Mikasa would yell. Shoot at the nun! Fire with everything you've got! Don't worry about killing her. You're not gonna do that. We just need you to buy time. Is that understood? All of the masked individuals would nod in unison. Now fire! Without warning, the payload of the railgun shooters would be emptied, firing everything they could at the possessed Index. A multiple form of spells and defensive barriers would be used, attempting to slow them down, all while Magnus began to rain fire, Kari using her wire magic to keep him in check. And Touma? He was fighting through a landmine, avoiding and dodging every attack that came his way, the T-spheres continuing to carry him. He used their form of barriers, their form of defensive power and capability, even countering a few of the magical spells that came his way also. His right arm, it had gone numb a long time ago. He got to the point where he felt like it was on fire just trying to hold it up. He felt like his right arm could just be pulled from his body and he wouldn't even care. And yet he persisted. Eventually getting as close as he could, Psycho would use a blasting force to send him back. The T-spheres behind him creating a wall, keeping him from stumbling and pushing him forward. Just keep me going, no matter what. Keep my right arm up, even if it kills me. We have to get close. So close that we can touch the mask. Destroy it. End this once and for all. The T-spheres would propel him forward. Magnus, watching what was happening, would shoot a combustible flame, speeding him up as well. As they continued to get as close as they could, Psycho Pirate, with Index's possessed body, would be frenzied, trying to run through every spell of the grimoires that he could use, trying to conjure more and more powerful magic. But he didn't have time to read or analyze anything. All of this had been taken on the gamble. He had the power, but he didn't have the time to use it, and they weren't giving it to him. Finally, in a desperate outburst, he would unleash torrents of energy in every direction, knocking and shooting everyone back. The seismic quake causing the buildings to start to move and rumble. Even some debris to fall from the sides also. By the time the smoke had cleared and the dust had settled, it seemed like everyone had been knocked down. The entire area had been reduced to rubble. The laboratory completely gone. It seemed like there was nothing left. That's it. It's over. Now, time to engage the next phase of the operation. Time to start. The new Eden. The new world, and this will be ground zero. From out of nowhere, Touma would appear in front of Index. The 5 T-spheres hovering above them, their anti-gravity power being the only thing to keep him standing. Because his right leg, just below the kneecap, was obliterated. His left arm, just below the shoulder, completely gone as well. All he had left was his left leg and his right arm. A battered, broken, burned, cut, and bloody right arm. Palmed on the face of Index. The mask of Psycho Pirate starting to crack and break. A final cry could be heard as the mask was destroyed. An Index, an unleashed torrent of energy as well. From the sky above, as the earth became calm once again, glowing feathers of light would fall. Mikasa, her subordinates, Stripe, digging themselves from the rubble and dirt, Magnus and Kari the same. Those lights. Dragon feathers. Oh no, he needs to get away from them or... Touma held Index in his body, holding her close to him as one of the feathers struck him in the head. The last thing he remembered was looking down at Index with a smile, as everything else would fade to black. The next thing Touma remembered, he was awakening in the hospital, his body perfectly bandaged, his missing limbs seemingly restored for now. Although they felt a little different. He had senses to them, sure, but for some reason, his right leg and left arm, they just felt a little more sturdier. Kind of felt like he had to relearn how to use them again. The doctor would open the door, smiling. I'm glad to see that you're in good spirits today, Mr. Kamijo. Yeah, thanks. Gotta say, getting used to this arm and leg is gonna be, well, kind of difficult, don't you think? It's the miracles of modern medicine. I have to say, you should be thankful to your donor. It's not every day that someone has prime insurance billing. I don't have that. I don't think. You didn't. But you have good friends who are taking care of you. The door would immediately open as Mikoto and Index would rush in, hounding him with questions on both sides, though he gave them a curious look. I should say I'm thankful that you're here, but why are you? Huh? Come on, you don't remember us? Don't play dumb. Come on, you know who we are. Bug Zapper, right? I'm Index. What? I'm sorry, but I'm really trying to think. I just can't, No way. Touma. Come on. We're your friends. Please, please no. Touma. You should have seen the looks on your faces, Touma said as he began to laugh. Wow, I didn't expect the bug zapper to start leaking out oil. Jeez, it almost makes it seem like you care about me. Wait, you were just... Yeah, I got my memory back. But how? They said... I know what they said. And don't get me wrong, when I first woke up, I couldn't remember a damn thing. But for some reason, it all just started coming back to me somehow. And, well, who knows? After all, magic isn't always as trustworthy as we'd want it to be. Sometimes you just gotta believe in good old-fashioned science and just... Wait, no, please! No! I'm going to have to ask you to please stop this at once! Oh my God! As the door closed, Touma would be left with bite marks and singed hair. Biting. Electricity. Not a good combination. This was left for you as well. A letter? Do I put them on the block list? And no, it's fine. I antagonized them. I expected this. Thank you, Doctor. All right. I'll have someone come and check on you later. Just try to get some rest, Mr. Kamijo. Yes, sir. The letter. The letter was from Style Magnus. Basically, as Touma was reading, things had changed with Necessarius. For now, they were left on observation. Index was in his care, but it didn't mean it would be permanent. In the end of the day, Magnus still didn't trust Touma or anything about him. But he had seen his conviction, his faith, and that was something that couldn't be denied. So for now, they would just continue to watch, play things by ear, and see how things turned out. For Touma, he didn't want to hurt the girls, but the truth was, he actually didn't remember anything. His memories, they truly were good as gone. There was no denying that. Still, for now, there was one thing he had. The note left another set of instructions. He needed to focus. The word T-sphere was used as well. The moment he did, the T-mask would appear on his face as Touma looked into a mirror. A little startled, but now he could no longer deny what he had been told. Science, sorcery, I guess it's all true. As he did so, a bag in the corner of the room would start to shift as 4 T-spheres would emerge. Wait, there are only 4? But I thought there was supposed to be 5. There was. Who said that? It's me, kid. Who's me? I'm gonna have to get used to this. The 4 T-spheres would hover above beside Touma's bed as a hologram of Michael Holt, aka Mr. Terrific, would form, sitting in the empty chair next to him. Who are... Name's Michael Holt, though some call me Mr. Terrific. Technically speaking, I'm nothing more but an AI. AI? Okay, so why exactly am I talking to an AI? Why do I have this mask on my face? And I feel something pounding in my head, and it's... Settle down, kid, settle down. I'm more of a fail-safe than anything else. You always have to be prepared for the worst. Look, everything they told you is real. You mean Index, Sorcerer's Church, fighting against a possessed index, all of that. Uh-huh. And unfortunately for you, you lost all your memories. My memories? I'm not sure what kind of magic was put into effect, but your memories were completely erased. The lobe part of your brain that stores memory was completely fried, irreversible. So, I had it removed. Removed? You removed a piece of my brain? Yes. And you're correct. You did have 5 T-spheres. You only have 4 because the 5th one, it's in my head. The T-spheres are one of my finest creations. They're effectively like computer brains, if you're thinking about it. The surgery was a lot more complicated than I would have liked it to be, but in the end it proved to be effective enough. So you're saying I have a T-sphere stuck in my brain? Look on the bright side. This will actually amplify you to a whole new level. A new level? I have some unknown piece of technology stuck in my head doing God knows what with God knows who. Calm down, Touma. I'm calm. It's just... this is a lot to take in. What exactly am I supposed to do? I don't have my memories, and it's just... The effects of the T-mask are quite powerful. The moment you put it on, it linked to your nervous system. Your memories, everything you've experienced, they were all put into the mask, saved into a database for a later time in use. Your mask can actually do that, huh? It can do a lot of things, but it's going to take time for you to learn it. I'll try to keep things brief and explain this to you as best as possible. The T-mask, the way it works, I can teach you everything. For now, that T-sphere needs to stay in your head, probably permanently, but it has its advantages. For starters, your memories are stored, they're not lost, but I can't just flood them back into your mind. For what I've been able to see, you still have use of your basic functions. So, you can do things like brush your teeth, tie your shoes, you know your ABCs. You can function like a normal person, but personal memories, things with your parents, family, friends, all that stuff, it was completely erased. Whatever that light magic feather was when it struck you in the head, it took everything. So now the T-sphere is going to give it back. However, it can't just give it to you all at once. You'll be overwhelmed, truly. Not in a you're gonna die kind of way, but you might have a mental breakdown, and we can't afford that. So your memories are going to come in small increments. Think like an IV drip. Your memories will come one drop at a time. Eventually, it'll be fully restored, but for now, try not to worry about it. Okay. Also, before going any further, I need to know if you still want to do this. You technically have no memory of us meeting, so you're not obligated to keep protecting Index any longer. You can keep the T-sphere. It's the least I can do for you. If necessary, we can go and find someone else. Perhaps you might have someone in mind to take up my mantle. It's all up to you, and I'll do it. Huh? I said I'll do it. Index needs someone, right? You chose me once. You must have had good reason to. So if I've done it before, I can do it again. Tell me what I have to do. There's a lot involved. For one, you're going to need proper training. That right arm of yours, it's powerful. But you're going to need more skills and tools if you're truly going to reach your fullest potential. As for your leg and arm, they restored it with magic. Don't ask me how, because I have no idea. But they're as good as new. You need to train your mental, your physical. That arm is a tool along with everything else. If you can harness it, master it, then I promise, no one in this world can stop you. Cool. So I'm gonna become a new hero, huh? Guess I'll need a name. Guess you will. Have anything in mind? I think I've got one that's pretty terrific. Sounds good to me. 2 weeks later, under Academy City, Style Magnus walked through dark halls and corridors before finally coming to a tube, a large vat with liquid, and a being carried inside. His name, Aleister Crowley, the ruler of Academy City, the one who kept the status quo of non-interference between science and magic. A liaison, if you will, the one who gave Magnus and Kari the ability to operate within the city. After all, when sorcery problems came up, it was good to have a sorcerer on retainer. You wanted to see me, sir? I did. It's regarding a new assignment for you. A new assignment? The one involving deep blood. You're referring to the vampires, then? I am. I was hoping that I could get your expertise on this matter. I have no problem with that. But I doubt that's the only reason you've called me here? Yes. After what transpired 2 weeks ago, I have reason to believe you'll be needing help on this endeavor. With all due respect, sir, I can handle myself just fine. True, but unforeseen things can happen. And that's why I believe you should take Touma Kamijo with you. Touma? Yes. Even in Academy City, Touma isn't like other espers. He's technically a level 0. But we both know that's not the case. You've seen with that arm. Imagine Breaker, as he calls it. He's not normal. But he's technically not an esper either. He uses technology. Unregistered technology. As long as it stays that way, he's technically a 0, a no one. His interference does not cause an imbalance between the world of science or the world of magic. So that's your idea. Using the boy as some sort of liaison between the two factions. He can help and serve on either side without any form of partiality. Precisely. Michael Holt once served such a position, and I would like for him to do the same. It's dangerous. At least with Michael, we knew what we were dealing with, but with this can have an irreversible sort of consequence on the world, and you've seen what he was able to do. He saved the girl. Yeah, I'm grateful. If you want me to take him on, I'll do it. I won't like it, and if he dies, it's because he got himself killed. I won't hold his hand. I'm sure you won't. I know you'll do well. And what about Index? I will make sure she is taken care of. Anything they need, I can assist them. Within reason, of course. The rest, we must leave to him. Touma will arrive home shortly after. Index had gone through the trouble of cooking dinner. Even without his memories, Touma didn't need them to know that perhaps cooking wasn't her strong suit. Still, his home was comfortable, and it was nice to have someone here by his side. There would be a knock on his window shortly after, and there was Makoto, flying on her cosmic rail staff like it was a witch's broom. So, you're finally out of the hospital, huh? It's time for you to keep your promise. My promise? My promise for the fight. What exactly do you want? Don't tell me you're going to challenge him to another fight, are you? Or what? Did you come here for a date or something? I didn't... Shut up! What are you guys doing anyway? We're having dinner. You call that slop dinner? What are you calling slop? what you call dinner. Jerk, meanie, non-believer, fool. Okay, guys, stop. How about we all just go out to eat, okay? I'll pay. With what money? But my wallet. Wait, where's my wallet? I know I had it, and I just gotta... That's what happens to those who aren't blessed by God. Index said with a grin as Touma started searching through everything for his lost wallet. But deep down, she had another thought. But you're still a blessing to me, Touma. And I know that God is real. Because He welcomed someone like you into my life. And I'll never forget. This concludes A Certain Magical Index Sage of Knowledge. What if Touma Kamijo was Mr. Terrific? Season 1, Part 6, the mid-season finale. So, just as a little bit of a heads up, I'm not going to be covering every single event that takes place in Season 1, simply because if I did, then this series would have probably over 20 or 30 parts, and I'd probably be doing this almost half of summer. So, the next 6 parts will envelop Season 1, but from time to time, I will be doing maybe movies or OVA specials that will cover certain events. So just as a reminder ahead of time, if a certain arc doesn't get covered in Season 1, then it'll probably be covered as its own separate project in the future. And that's kind of something that I'm going to be adapting for series that are very long and series that have manga, light novel, and anime adaptations when I make my stories. And we'll be mixing in some original arcs as well. So I hope you'll be looking forward to that when we continue this series next week and we wrap up Season 1. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.